Hello, this is Adore from Bricksmaven. Very good. It's afternoon here, and today we'll be looking at a new section that we'll be building. I came across this section on the Core Framework website. Obviously, I've seen it since inception. Wow, can't speak today. Inception, and I always thought to build it. So I created a video where I actually rebuilt the whole page, but then I left out this interactive part. So today, this is what we'll be building. We'll be building this, and to show you the end result, this is what we'll be building. As you can see. Yeah, it is also tabbable, as you can see, so you can just go tab through it. But the thing is, the content that comes on the left or on the right, you can decide for yourself. You can add some kind of list. Maybe you have like a, you can drop this on your let's say you have like two services. Let's say you're an agency, you do web development and you also do marketing. So you could have like the web design, web development on the left side, and then have like a list where you have the list of the services, right? You could say web design, web development, whatever that falls under development, right? Web shops, whatever. And on the marketing side, you could list all the marketing activities you do. SEO, SEA, Facebook marketing, etc., etc. So that could also be a kind of setup you put here, right? So we're going to be building this from scratch. So let's jump into it. I will be going into bricks, and we're just going to build it from scratch, obviously. Like I said before, I'll be adding annotations to the video. So we mostly start out with setting the structures, adding the tags, styling it, etc. That part is always repetitive, but obviously we need to go through it. You can always skip forward and just go to the part where we start actually styling the section. So let's just get started. So we need a section. This should just be a I'll call it content content. Why would I want to say EA? I'll call it content IB, as in interactive block. Content IB. And we have a container. We need another block we need two blocks, sorry. Let me see, we need two blocks. This will be the intro section. The intro section is this section here, which will then be split into two columns. And this will need, we can just add a single block for now. So this will be the, I'll just call this will be the column wrapper. I did not spell that correctly, column wrapper. And this will be a card. And in that card we have the following elements. We have a heading, we have an accent heading, we have a text, we have an image, and we have a button. So let me just add call to action here. As for the image, well, yeah, let's just grab something. Yeah, here we go. It's just basic text. It's the accent heading. I'll just rename this to text. And I want to group these because I want them to have a different. When I add the content gap, I want the space between the top part to be different. What am I trying to say? I don't want all the elements to have the same spacing. So I want these three parts to be separate from the image and the button. So I'll also wrap this in a block, call this media. We have a button, and this will be content, or yeah, this is the top You can call this the header of the. We can call this the header. This is the header of the card. Oops, let me just add a here like that. And as for this also need 2 blocks. Yeah, what you call this? I'll just call it left and right. Left and right column, simple. Left and right. In the left and right we have another heading and we have an accent again. Easy peasy. And on the right side we have basically some text and a button. Let me check. Some text and some button. Okay. And here we also have a call to action. Let me just grab this text real quick. Put it there. Let me also start adding the tags too. And do this. On the heading, this is a H2. And this is just accent heading. And this is also accent heading. Span. Trying to move fast here, guys. Paragraph. I will copy this text if it will allow me. Let me just see if I can copy it in the code. Here we go. Okay. There we go. And one more. Okay, I can just grab it from here. Say shorts. Yeah. Okay. This is basically our structure. Okay, I'm going to use the AutoBAM feature. I will just start with the card itself. So we'll start here. And we don't want to sync the labels. Take this out. And then, what am I doing, guys? This is content IB card. Header is good. Heading, accent heading, text. All good. Apply. Okay, next. This will be column wrapper. I agree. Content IB column wrapper. Let me copy this because I'll be using it a lot. Apply class. There we go. And as for all these, let me add this here. This is the content. Oops. Content IB. This also, you know what? I'm just going to add it here. And we do not, these have already gotten classes, so we take this off. And we're going to do it for these. I just say apply classes, and on the container, switch this back to a block. Okay, now we have all our classes there. Everything is styled. I mean, has a custom CSS. So, okay, we have now set the structures. We've added the tags. Oh wait, on the image. Oh, did I forget to column wrapper image? Ooh, I made a mistake. Something went wrong. Oh, I forgot to remove. Wow. Okay, I made a mistake, guys. Then IB card. This has to go. No, I think it's best for me to actually delete it from the. Yeah. So the wrapper has to stay. The card has to go. All this unused CSS, I do not need them. Go. Also the heading, the text, the media, and the image, and the button. And we are, oh wait, almost done. The button has to go. Boom. Okay, so why is it still there? Header. Huh? Why is the header still there? Column wrapper, header, column wrapper, header. Okay, that's weird. Okay, so that's done. Okay, that took some time to do that. So on the image, let's add the figure tag and set this to cover. And I would like the aspect ratio to be 16 by 9, and the width will be 100%, and the height can also be 100%. Awesome. Okay. Oh, I started already adding styling. Okay, let us start from the very top. So we have our content IP. So as you can see, the background is dark. So I want to give it a dark background. And let's go to background and let's give it a neutral dark. Or maybe I could go for ultra dark, is like ultra dark, neutral dark. Let's go for neutral dark. Okay, so we have our background, check. And the next thing we want to do, everything is set. We don't need to do anything on the section anymore. Now we'll move on to the container. Let's style the container. We want some space in between the two blocks. So we give it a container gap. There you go. So we have some spacing there. Let's see. Next thing you want to do is on the intro, let me see. I want all the typography to be white, so I'll just do it here so we can see it all. And I'll set this to grid. Yeah, I can have a grid gap, 2 columns. And we'll be adding some spacing there, but as of now we're set. Let's just see how it will stack here. I think it can stack here, so this can be 1 column. Yeah, that's good. Okay, happy with it. Okay, so let's move on to the left column. Yes, this is flex column, and we give it a content gap. And let's go to the right and let's also do the same thing, content gap. So let me check it. Yes. Okay, let me set the accent heading to -1 on the order. Let's flip it around. So this is top, and I want to bring the size down. Okay, awesome. See how this looks. Pop. Yeah, I think I want to adjust the spacing between the accent heading and the heading. So let's add in a calc gap divided by 2. Okay, that's a bit better. I think it also look different, and I also think the grid gap also has to be a bit less. It's like it's a bit too much gap there. -2 divided by 2, sorry. Okay, it's looking a bit much better. Yeah, I like this a lot. Okay, so basically the intro is now done. Now let's move on to the fun part. Oh, I forgot to add the tag here, and also on the card list, and I'm going to give it the utility class of list none. So to remove that 40 padding, 40 pixel padding. Okay, so we have our list. I'm going to add, I forgot to add on the section a overflow hidden, because we'll be using the viewport width, and it's going to cause some overflow. So if we set the section to hidden, nothing will go beyond that. Okay, our next step is to look at the column wrapper. We will need a obviously this will be a grid, 2 columns, and there will be a grid gap, but well, let's just give it the grid gap now. And if the gap is too much, we'll come back and make some changes there. Let me already just check on the mobile landscape mode. I want this to be 1, so it will stack, and then yeah, this will be set. So I do not think I will need to come back here. And now let us start styling the card. I'll give this a, you know what, I'll come back here. Let me just focus on the card itself. Give it a content gap. As you can see, the top part, the header part, has spacing between the image and the button. If I did not do this, you would have a spacing between the heading, the accent heading, and yeah, I did not want that. I wanted this content to be a little bit closer to one another, so I just divided it up this way. And so I will also use a calc here to lessen the space. Okay, and on the card I'll also add a typography font color of white, and we'll have to flip the accent heading, set it to order of -1. Here I will also bring down the size of the text. There we have it. I think we have everything we need. So I think style. Okay. Button. Okay, I didn't add any class to the button, so the button will just get a button white. Let's make it white. Here also make it white. Button white. Okay, let me just save that for now. I will duplicate the card so you can see what we have. So this is basically what we have. This is the basic structure. We have 2 cards, we have an intro section, and now we want to add some extra stuff to it. So as you can see, these cards have a gap here, but if you go to the example, you see that the gap is way more, right? It's more gap here, and that means there's a padding. There's a right padding here and there's a left padding here. There is no right padding here, so let us fix that. There is a top padding, there's a bottom padding, both. So I'll add to the card. We'll go to style, CSS, a layout. I will add a space of Excel. I will also add the space of Excel to the right side and also on the bottom. And now this is what we get. Like I said, there has to be a left. I want the left padding space here but not here, and I want the right padding space here but not here. So we can use CSS to fix that. I could have also done this padding, set it in CSS, but I'm doing it this way. Just say I will first, before I do that, because I want to set all the styling in a media query. So you know what, I'll just write the media query, because I want what I'm going to do now, I only want it to apply to desktop, maybe tablet. I can always change that, but on mobile, when it comes here, all the interactive stuff I've done, I want it to be gone. So we're going to use the media query, and then set it to a min width of 767 pixels. We can always change this. And here, whoops, I'll say root. How did that happen? R tab says right. Is that supposed to happen? R and tab is supposed to give me root. It's giving me right. Okay, let me see if I do it outside the media query. Okay, here it works. Okay, that is weird, guys. That is weird. Okay, so root, and then we want to target the last of type. So the last of type, that is what we want. Last of type. And now we will say last of type. It's actually we want the left padding to have the space Excel. So that is margin inline start, let's see, space Excel. How did I? No, wait, it's supposed to be end. Right, am I missing something? Margin, did I write something wrong? Wait. Why is it not working? What am I missing? Maybe I'm tired or something. It's supposed to be padding. Padding inline end. It's supposed to be padding, right? What is this? Roots. I'm sure I didn't make a mistake, right? Wait. Supposed to be start. Okay, it's working. So start, and then I will also duplicate this and say padding inline end, and this should be 0. So now we basically have what we want, where the left card has a right padding and the right card has a left padding, right? So this is what we want. Okay, so the next thing that we're doing is I'm just gonna start adding the interactive effects, right? So we're going to do it on, we're going to add it to the before, and we'll also add a different effect to the after. So on the before, this is what we want to have. This is the effect, right? We're going to create this whole shape here. So let's get to it. So we have our root. Oh, still writing right. What is that? Now I have to manually write root. Roots before. So we're creating a pseudo element before. We will say content is. Whoops, content is nothing. And this will be position absolute. I always forget the I in position. First, let me also set the card to position relative. Never forget that when you're using position absolute on a element that's within a parent container. Position absolute, and we want to say that the top position is 0, the bottom position also 0, and we want the right position to be 0. In the left we leave alone. We want the width to be 50 viewport width. We want the height to be 100%. And we also want to give it a color. We'll say background. Whoops. Background. Background color. We're going to give just background. We're going to give it a gradient. So a linear gradient, and we want to add like the colors and stuff, right? So I'll be using the neutral color. Let's see if our neutral I use var neutral. Let's see how this will look. Trans 40. And also, let me just copy this so we're quicker. And I want it to go all the way to a dark. Yeah, this is good. So I want it to fade. I want it to go from a darker, actually a trans color. I want it to go from a darker color to the background color, so it's actually just blending into the background, which gives it a very nice effect. And as you already can see, it's overlapping some elements, but we'll fix that. And now we have what we want. Oops. And then I also want to add a transition to the, actually the transition should affect the top 3 seconds, and ease out will be cool, or ease in and out, ease in out. And we also need to give it a border radius, or better said border top right radius. Yeah, do the border top right radius of we're just going to use a variable that is radius Excel. Yeah, have I transition, right top right, neutral dark. Wait, did I break something? Why is my color gone? Var neutral dark. Wait, or is this, sometimes the builder just strips. Why can't I see the color? Minor gradient var. How did the comma get into the 40? Oh man, so weird. Let me paste this back. Okay, let's check what we have on the front so far. Okay, as you can see, my my gradient is covering the content, right? Well, like I said, we'll fix that, and we also fix the other side. So let's get back into it. So we have everything is set here. So now basically what we want to do is we want to also add the hover. So I'm just gonna copy this because I don't want to. No. Yeah. I do not want to write the the stuff here. I don't want to write it again. The root. Okay. I'm messing things up. Okay, let me put this way down. Yeah. Okay, so this will be the hover. So basically this can all go, this can go. So now I want to say, once you hover the card, hover, it should move this, it should move the pseudo element up. So say space, and I think Excel is good, times -1, boom. So now here we go. I made a typo here because I can't see my radius. There it is, there it is. Look at my radius, look at it there, boom. So this is what we want, right? So once you over here, it should just go up. But I think I should bring this down to like M. It's a bit much. So this is what we want, this effect. So basically we got it. So now let's fix the other side. So what we're basically going to do is just basically copy this again, and maybe I think I should just put it right under it, and we need to say that it should target the last of type. So last of type, and we want it, everything else has to, some things need to change. This can go away, we don't need this. It has the same height, it has the same width, it's also set to bottom, it's also set to top, position absolute, and content is also the same. We want these three values need to change. So instead of right, it needs to be left. See? So it goes the other side. And this is all on it. We don't need the background too. And the radius, instead of right, it should be left. So now we have this effect. And as you can see also that the gap is a bit much, so we'll be fixing that later. But as of now, you basically have what we want, except that it's overlapping the content. But like I said, we will fix that. And we're going to do it in a way that we do not need to like add z-index to the different elements and blocks. We're going to do it in a very simple way that you can do it. Okay, so now we have our before. So let's fix this issue with that's overlapping the content. So what we want to do is go to layout, and we're going to use isolation. So it's not set to auto, but we want to set it to isolate. So now once I do this, nothing happens, right? And you're like, okay, what does isolate do? Isolate actually, it like rearranges the stacking order. So to make this make sense, if you normally add a before to a card, right, the parent container, the before comes behind it, right? And if you would put like a -1 z-index on it, it don't even make sense because it's already coming behind it. So what isolate does is it makes sure that no element escapes the parent container. So basically by setting this to isolate, this is what we're going to get once I set the before. Let me move my head away. So now when I set the before to z-index of -1, it will jump behind, it will come in front of the parent element, and still behind the content, the elements that are the child elements, right? So now it's sitting behind it, and that's precisely where I want it. If this does not make sense, I will give you another example. Or let me show you, if I remove the isolate, look, it goes away. Because it's -1, so it's going behind even the section, right? Even the section. So by isolating it, it will not escape the parent container, which isolate, right? I'm isolating every element which is a very cool feature. So now I don't need to like set Z index to the header, media, button, so I don't need to litter my elements with all Z indexes. So that is how we do that. I made a list to make sure that I do this in a structured way. So the next point will be to add the after. Let's add the after element, right? And since I cannot, I'm just gonna copy this again, guys. I just don't want to write root. You can say, oh, it's easy to write. I know. I think I need most of these, so I'll just keep them in. I do not need this, so I need most of this stuff. So I'll say this is the after, and we'll be changing some of this stuff. So this will be 0. This will be, the height will be like 3 pixels, and we all this can stay the same. I would like to switch the degrees to 90 degrees, and ease in, this can all stay the same. Okay, let's add the hover. I'll just copy this, and this will be the after, and we will have to, we're targeting the width, which will then be 50 viewport width. So now let's see if it works. Oh, it's coming on top there. Wait, let's see. Top. Oh, I'll have to remove the top. It's not supposed to be though. So yeah, there it is. So we get that effect, right? But I'm going to switch this around. So this will be dark, and this will be the trans 40. So it goes from dark to, it just blends into the background. So basically now we're having this effect. See? It's super cool. And I have to fix the other side, because now it's, I have to do precisely the same thing I did here. So I'm gonna copy the after again, and put this to last of type. And here I also need to remove some stuff that is not necessary. Last of type, this has to be left. I think this is the only thing I need to know. I need to change the transition, can go, the width is the same, the bottom and all this stuff, this can all go left, and then I need to switch these again. So this is trans 40, and this will be dark. So now we have the other side fixed precisely the way we want it. See, now we have that awesome effect. Look at that. Okay, so let me quickly fix this gap to bring them a little bit closer. So let's go back to the column wrapper, and let us just divide this by grid gap divided by 2. Let's look at the original. That's about it. So yeah, this looks good. There we go. Okay, so now that we have actually put in the interactions, but we're not done yet. I want to make my cards like tabbable, right? So we'll have to, let's first remove the focus styles on the cards. So I'm going to do it outside of the media wrapper. So root, boom, and let me just target the focus. So when I'm tabbing focus within focus, I want to remove any outline, but let me show you how it looks now. So if you like tab, wait, oh, there's no link, so you cannot see that. I will not be using the button as link, but I'll be using the heading as link, because this has more semantic meaning, obviously, right? So if this is a link, this says more than just like read more or something. So this will be the link, and this will also be the link. Let me just save it for now, and let's just tap through it. So this is what you're getting now. So it's highlighting. This is what brings the outline styling, right? So it does this, but I want to remove this. So we go to card, and we on the focus we say outline none. Let me see that, outline none. Wow. And let me just also take out any box shadow. I made a typo, I've seen it. Box shadow none. So let's save and let's see what we got now. So once I hover over it, you see it's selected it, but you're not, the outline is gone. Okay, so now I am going to ensure that when you hover and when you tap through the cards, that it also activates the interactions. So let's do that. So on the hover, we just copy this. We also want the same styles to apply. So this will be focus within, and let me just copy this, and also the comma, and we scroll down to the after on the, and we just paste that in and set this to after. So now this should happen. So okay, hover. So I'm going to now tap through. You see it's activating, and as you can see, if you look down on the right corner in the link, right, you can see the pound tag. So if I had like a link in it, it will work. So yeah. Okay, so now let's see how this will look on responsive mode. Let me save real quick. See, so all our styling is gone. Better said, our interactions, they're gone on mobile landscape. You could also change it that you could also set it on the tablet portrait, though. Would be actually wise to do that, but I'll just keep it like that. Well, here I see there's still like a lot of space going on. So on mobile landscape, I want to make some changes to the spacing. I'll better set all, I remove all the spacing, and I would like to increase, just put the normal grid gap or even increase it. So let's see, there's a, I think it needs a bit more spacing. Let's just increase that. So instead of divided by 2, do times 2. So it's a bit more gap. So there, boom. Here we have it too. So it's all looking good, and with that, we are practically done. So that is how you would build this 2-column interactive blocks, right? Similar to what we see here. And you could make this obviously a little bit more dynamic by the colors, right? Look, this is very nice with the colors. I could have added colors, but I'm just basically building this for the library. So this will soon be available. Apparently it might be available before even this video comes out. So anyways, yeah, we're done. I hope this was another educative video, that you learned a lot from this. Like I said, you can change the content in the both cards. You could add lists, you can try something creative and utilize this, right? It could also be a you could remove this intro section, maybe stretch this a little bit higher and make it like a, you know, when you enter like a splash page and you have like 2 choices you can make. There's also like a split screen hero section or something, or landing page would also be a nice use of this element. So yeah, thank you for watching again, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.